Nobody expected this ending to 17-time world champion John Cena, fighting with everything he has left, refusing to fade. But at WWE, one man proved that legacy alone is not enough to survive the ring general. Welcome to Wrestling News WWE, the home of elite breakdowns, brutal finishes, and the moments that redefine WWE history. If you live for real wrestling stories, you are in the right place to the WWE Saturday night's main event. The spotlight was firmly on a generational clash. John Cena is 17-time world champion and living icon, stepping into the ring with one of the most dominant forces in modern WWE, the ring general Gunther. From the opening bell, this was not about speed or flash. This was about control, endurance, and survival. Cena dug deep into his experience, absorbing punishment and refusing to stay down. Each strike from Gunther echoed through the arena. Heavy chops, calculated pressure, and ruthless packing. This was Gunther wrestling on his terms. As the match reached its final moments, Gunther locked in the sleeper hold once again, tighter, more deliberate than before. Then came the body scissors, crushing Cena's midsection and cutting off every ounce of oxygen. The referee checked the AR, mitt dropped once, I dropped twice. The arena held its breath. The referee lifted Cena's arm for what looked like the final time, but Cena refused to let it fall. Pure will, pure instinct, a champion refusing to surrender. Gunther responded the only way he knows how. Brutal elbows driven directly into the clavicle in wasted motion. No hesitation. Then once more Gunther cinched in the sleeper. This time there was no escape. John Cena tapped out. For the first time in this war, there was no strength left to fight, only the acknowledgement of dominance. The bell rang. The ring general Gunther stood victorious, having forced one of the greatest champions in WWE history to submit. This was not just a win. This was a statement that if you want. Nobody expected this. Not the fans in the arena, not the millions watching at home, and maybe not even John Cena himself. At WWE SNME, history didn't just change, it was forced to tap out. Tonight, sports entertainment stood still as one man rewrote the power structure of professional, where moments become legacy and legacies are put to the test. As the bell rang and the match officially ended, the arena fell into a silence that felt heavier than any championship belt. The production crew cut away from the ring, not to celebrate but to capture disbelief, faces frozen in shock, fans staring into nothing, some with hands over their mouths, some wiping away tears. This wasn't just a loss, this was something deeper. Michael Cole's voice cut through the moment, struggling to process what everyone had just witnessed. He said professional wrestling had destroyed sports entertainment. A line that instantly told you this wasn't just commentary, it was a reaction. The old balance was gone. The line between spectacle and pure dominance had been erased. Wade Barrett followed, steady but chilling, saying Gunther had just become a standard bearer for the entire industry. Not a champion in name alone, but the measuring stick, the man everyone else would now be compared to. Cole returned to the call, reminding us that the fans and he himself were still in shock. John Cena didn't get pinned, he didn't get knocked out, he tapped out, something many believed they would. They would never see in their lifetime, and then came the words that sealed it. Cole pointed out that it was Goldberg and now it was Cena. Two icons, two legends, two careers forever altered after standing across the ring from Gunther. That's when the label was spoken out loud. Gunther is a career killer, and celebration. No wasted movement. Gunther simply exited the ring. No, just dominance, leaving behind a fallen legend and an industry forced to accept a new reality. This wasn't an upset. This wasn't a fluke, this was a warning. The era of surviving on legacy is over. In WWE, there is now a standard, and his name is Gunther. If WWE SNME marked the end of an era and the rise of something forever. The arena is loud, the result is controversial, and in the middle of the ring, John Cena stand alone. The crowd isn't cheering, they're angry, confused, emotional, because this moment doesn't feel like a victory. It feels like the closing chapter of an era. Deep storytelling and the biggest WWE sagas ever told. If it happens in the ring, we break it down like no one else. John Cena slowly looks around the arena as the crowd voices its frustration over the match result. Some boos, some cheers, a storm of emotion crashing all at once. Cena doesn't argue, he doesn't pose, he simply takes it in. Then in a moment that silences everything, Cena drops to one knee in the center of the ring. He kisses the mat, that a gesture loaded with history. Respect, gratitude, the same canvas that carried him through championships, wars, and generations of fans. Cena rises with a small knowing smile. Not cocky, not forced, just genuine. He bows to the crowd, and that's when a moment becomes bigger than one man. Triple H's music hits. Stephanie McMahon steps out beside him. Then come the legends and leaders: Cody, Rhodes, The Undertaker, CM Punk, Bruce Pritchard, Shawn Michaels, and more. Not rivals, not characters, but the pillars of WWE history. Cody, Rhodes, and CM Punk enter the ring carrying something heavy with meaning. Championship title belts. They hand them to Cena. Cena hesitates. He tries to give them back, they refuse. The message is clear, this is not about possession, this is about legacy. Cena slowly raises the title belts and turns to every side of the arena, showing them to the fans. One last acknowledgement, one last shared moment. He then hands the titles back to Cody and Punk, sealing the respect. Triple H steps forward, he and Cena shake hands, then they embrace in no words, no speeches, just two men who shaped eras standing together as history closes a chapter. The lights dim and a John Cena video package begins to play. Highlights of championships, rivalries, sacrifices, and moments that defined WWE for over 2 decades. The crowd watches, some in silence, some in tears, because this wasn't just a segment, that it was a goodbye or at least a thank you. Moments like this are why wrestling is more than wins and losses. It's legacy, it's respect, it's family. For more deep dives into WS, what you're about to see is one of the most unforgettable moments in WWE history. John Cena's final salute, a historic handshake with Triple H, and a farewell that shook the wrestling world. Welcome to your greatest wrestling moments, breakdowns, and exclusive nostalgia from WWE legends. Let's dive in. In a moment that will forever be etched in WWE history, John Cena and Triple H stood face to face in the center of the ring. Two icons, two warriors, respect not earned in a single match but built over decades of blood, sweat, and unforgettable battles. As the crowd roared, these two legends shared not just a handshake but a mutual acknowledgement of greatness. Cena then turned to each side of the ring, bowing deeply to thank the WWE Universe. Every nation, every fan, every chant, the respect was palpable. Next, Cena honored a tradition few superstars ever complete, removing his shoes, his wristbands, and his armbands right in the center of the ring. Symbolic. Emotional, the end of an era. Making his way backstage one last time, Cena stopped. One final bow, one final salute. As the lights dimmed and the crowd echoed his name, this chapter of Cena's WWE journey came to a close. From debut to legend, here's the John Cena video package. The battles, the titles, the moments that made him a defining force in WWE. That was WWE history. John Cena, forever a legend. If you felt the energy of this moment, smash that like button. Subscribe to Wrestling News WWE and turn on notifications so you never miss the greatest wrestling news ever told.